before we start, I just want to remind you all to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you do enjoy. Help me hit 400 subscribers before Christmas, and with all that being said, enjoy the video. So one day, I logged into GTA Online, and I was thinking, I'm kind of bored of doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe I should go try something that I haven't done in a long time. So I headed over to my hangar, and I decided that I wanted to try some dogfights. Because it has been a couple years since I've actually done any of that. So I went and I hopped in the Rogue and I flew out the hangar to go pick a fight. But yeah, it didn't go too well. And I kept getting killed by the Raiju over and over again, to the point where I decided that I was going to go and buy my own one, so that I was actually able to compete. But I was a few dollars short. Yeah, that took a long time, but I finally have it. So let's see, why is the Raiju so hated among the GTA Online community? And the main reason is, well, it's very overpowered. It's so overpowered that I refer to it as the Mark II of the skies. But why is it so overpowered? Let's talk about some of its features and abilities. For starters, the VTOL on the Raiju is fucking ridiculous. And it is far superior to the likes of the Hydra. And it overall makes the maneuverability of the Raiju even more ridiculous. But the most unfair aspect of the Raiju is that it's able to go completely off radar whenever it wants. Which means they are able to completely sneak up behind you without you having any idea, and they can kill you almost instantly. It doesn't matter what plane you're in, because the Raiju will always outclass and outmaneuver you. And considering that every other aircraft in the game is imperfect but balanced with all their strengths and weaknesses, when you throw the Raiju into the mix, which is, well, pretty much perfect, you really start to see the problem, because there's just really nothing you can do. Except for, well, A, if you're a really good pilot, or B, the player in the Raiju sucks ass. But my biggest problem with the Raiju is, well, considering that you see them everywhere, it makes it really hard for players who want to get into things like dogfighting. Because, as you saw earlier, when I tried to go out there with the Rogue, I got killed almost immediately. So it kind of sends a message that, if you're a new player, or new to dogfighting, you're not going to get good unless you're in the Raiju. Because no matter what you're in, everyone else will most likely be in one of these. And, well, then they will most likely kill you. And that is really not good, and is something that Rockstar should have taken into account when making the Raiju. Because you never know, a lot of players might just never get into dogfighting and air combat because maybe they tried to go up there with something that wasn't a Raiju, they got absolutely obliterated and they just quit. Because they simply cannot compete with an aircraft which is perfect in every single way. So that is a huge problem with the Raiju, and in my opinion it needs a very big rework. And I know what you're saying, Juvo, I kill Raijus all the time, you just suck ass. And not gonna lie, you are right, I am a very bad pilot, but still, I'm able to get kills on almost every single other aircraft, but then when it comes to the Raiju, it's just 10 times more difficult. And that's a problem because 14 out of 15 planes I encounter are Raijus. And that's quite bad because over the history of GTA Online, there has never only been one meta aircraft. Usually, you can use any aircraft you want and you can get away with it and you can actually do pretty well. But when you introduce a really overpowered aircraft like the Raiju, you will in turn see a less variety of other aircraft players use because most of them will just go to the Raiju since it's the best option and it outperforms every other aircraft in every single way. And it's quite similar to the Oppressor Mark II because when that came out and it was just better than everything else, people only ever used that and they didn't even use any other vehicle. And it wasn't until the nerf of the Mark II which people kind of cut back and reverted to other vehicles. And it really is a shame to see the decrease in the variety of aircraft that you see. Because beforehand, it wouldn't matter what you're in, it purely comes down to the pilot and how skilled they are. But nowadays, any old idiot can just hop in a Raiju and they can look like the best pilot in the whole server. Which is just really dumb in my opinion and should not be the case. Because I myself am a pretty bad pilot. But when I get into the Raiju, I'm able to completely dominate sessions. Which, to be honest, I really should not be able to do. I should have to put in the time and actually learn how to use these aircraft more efficiently, and then maybe I'll start to dominate some online sessions. Because it really doesn't matter how skilled you are. If you're in a Raiju, you are able to outclass everyone. But if I were to rework the Raiju, what would I actually do? Well, let's see. Maybe make it so that it can't outrun every single missile. Maybe make it so it's more reliant on its stealth. Maybe make it so the VTOL isn't completely overpowered. Because if you wanted to keep GTA Online balanced, all this thing should be is just a Hydra with stealth capabilities. It shouldn't be this all-encompassing God mode vehicle that just cannot be killed. Or rather, is just incredibly difficult to kill. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Raiju down in the comments below, because I already know there's going to be some wild takes on this. But as anyone who actually has a brain would know, if you want to keep the sandbox competitive, you can't have a vehicle that is 10 times better than every other. It needs to be balanced. So yeah, let me hear your takes and let me know what you would do to rework the Raiju. Or even leave a comment and tell me how to counter the Raiju, because god, I need some help. Because I really don't like just relying on using the Raiju all the time as the only way to beat them. I want to be able to use any plane I want and be able to actually compete with these things. But anyway, with all that being said, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And this is the last chance, guys, to help me hit 400 subscribers before Christmas. So if you want to help me in getting there, your support will be very much appreciated. And just before we wrap up, I would really just like to take a moment and thank you all for your amazing support. I mean, over the last couple of months, this channel has grown far quicker than I would ever have expected. So thank you so much for that. And with all that being said, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.